Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback. I am Jay Stockwell.
I am Bob Frady.
Bob Fraley, you've been on the road, man. Where you been?
I'm a traveling man, made a lot of stops. I was in Orange County, California, and I was in San Diego, California, home of one of the last bowl games that I attended with Jay Stockwell, which was, of course, the Holiday Bowl.
Well,
Twice.
We had a dearth of bowl games for a number of years.
Yeah, the bowl desert.
It wasn't by choice.
Yeah.
We didn't just stop going to bowl games. We just stopped going to bowl games, if you know.
Yeah. Yeah. We only go to bowl games if Nebraska's playing.
Yeah.
Therefore, we saved a lot of money, though, by not going to bowl games.
During the Mike Riley and Scott Frost years, we just had a little bit of a drought. But we should have gone to the Pinstripe Bowl. New York would have been fun.
It's cold. I don't want to go to cold places. Plenty of cold in Minnesota. I don't need to be going for more cold.
Plus, by the way, you're going to be in town for the Minnesota game, right?
I will be in town for the Minnesota game. I still don't want to go because of our behavior at away games, but we'll see. So this Jay Stockwell versus Michigan State kicks off bowl qualification season. There is an opportunity for the mighty, mighty Big Red to be bowl qualified by the end of October, which is pretty gnarly.
Remember saying that last year? Oh my God! And we almost
we might be jinxing ourselves.
On a 5-game skid and one loss game or one score games.
But let's focus on this week's opponent, the mighty, mighty Spartans of Michigan State.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here looking at the StatMaster Score Mobile, and it's looking pretty dang favorable.
Well, I was surprised. I went on to ESPN and looked at the line and looked at the probability of win, and the Oddsmakers are very much in favor of Nebraska winning this by double digits.
Did you know that we have the number one pass defense in the country?
I did know that, yes. And you got to take out that.
Did you also know that our run defense is ranked 110th?
113th. If you just limit it to real opponents, 1A opponents or FBS, you got to take out the FCS stuff. That doesn't count. That's like practice. And when you do that,
talk about a tale of two cities on the defense. I mean, what's run? I mean, so John Butler, right? He was a secondaries coach in the NFL, right? And now he's a defensive coordinator, so he's got to worry about the whole defense. But he's got a lockdown, with teams only averaging 64 yards in the pass against us, and their passing offense, oh my God, is ranked 82nd, and their total offense is 81st, and their rushing offense is 72nd. Our passing offense is ranked 3rd.
It's 13th if you take out the junior high kids that they play. So it is obvious to anyone who went to the Michigan game that all of these stats are twisted a bit by Michigan. Michigan had 3 long runs for touchdowns, a 30, a 60, and a 65 or something like that. And those will really put a hole in your ranking. And they only lost the game by 3 points, a game that they probably had a pretty good shot to win. Not getting a receiver stepping out of bounds would have been very helpful. So I don't read too much into that run defense stuff. Michigan is a pound the ball kind of team. It's like being there in Memorial Stadium. It's like they can pass the ball. Raiola is a tough kid. Michigan has a beastly offensive and defensive lines. They kind of beat us up on the lines.
Big time.
And the game was still 3 points. It was still a toss-up until the very end. And so I look at Michigan State, and you should just take the Michigan out of that. Call them Akron State or something like that, because it's like, I don't, the Achilles heel of Nebraska is the running quarterback, the mobile quarterback. And that's why Michigan ran for so many yards, is because their quarterback was such a threat that they had to keep the box a little bit lighter to make sure you keep him in control, which they did with a limited amount of success. And, Michigan's a good running team. They commit to pounding the rock. They're what Nebraska fans want in a team. So, but when I look at Michigan State, I don't see that same kind of run game. I think they are, oh, I had it here somewhere. They're
72nd ranked.
72nd rushing offense. Yeah, it's like middle of the pack. It's like, yeah. Now Nebraska's in the 80s, so it's like, it kind of sucks. But because they're not that very good on at running, they have to throw the ball, and they're not very good at throwing the ball. They're terrible at throwing the ball, and they give up a lot of yards. I don't see this being a close game. I see it being a bit of a track meet, especially if Nebraska gets ahead by 10 points. Forget the ground game. Then you got to go right into the teeth of the Huskers defense and throw the ball, and then it gets to be a runaway. So
their passing defense is 116th. I think the Raiola is going to have all the time in the world.
I mean, I think the 3 D1 quarterbacks that went against them completed 70, 68, and 72% of their passes in 3 games. It's like, that's a bad sign for a guy who's got a very high completion rate already. They don't pressure the quarterback, and they don't have good defensive backs. So I think that this could be a blowout.
Couldn't agree more. And I think our guys have been chomping at the bit. I've listened to a lot of the interviews from coaches and stuff, and they're talking a big game about how strong the practices were. They went good on good the week after the loss. Guys are motivated, chomping at the bit to get back. So, oh wow, the spread is what is it now? It's 11-5.
11.5, yeah. And the over-under is 48.5.
Yeah.
And us, we're the negative nabobs of over-under.
Yeah.
And I think that this will be over, and they'll cover the spread.
I'm giving it 35-21.
I think that Michigan State's feisty. They put up a good fight against USC, and, until they had to stop them at the pass, and USC's just back there like, dude, I think we need to throw a touchdown pass here. Whoosh, here you go. There's another one. And, that kind of, in Memorial Stadium, I don't think that stuff's going to fly.
Oh,
now,
they got smoked at USC 45-31.
it was closer than that. It was closer than that for a little while. But, who knows what, I mean, every team is still such a mystery. The question is, it's going to be hot out there. I think we're expecting temperatures in the 80s up here, so it's probably going to be close to 90 down there.
We had the second highest over/under in the league that week.
Wow.
Only Maryland is higher at Maryland versus Washington is higher at 53.
So I do think that Michigan State's going to score. I don't think they'll shut them out, because they do have a bit of a mobile quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's the threat with his legs, and if you can contain him, it will be a blowout, a big one. I don't think Michigan State can stop Nebraska on defense. The question is, can Nebraska stop Michigan State's running game? And I think the answer is yes, but. So, yes, they can stop them, but not completely. So I don't know. It's like, the more I read about this, the more I think about it. It's like Michigan State was 3-0, went to USC, laid an egg. Both teams coming off a bye week. You never know how that's going to go. But it's in Lincoln, be a big fervent home crowd. And I think that it's going to be, I predicted a win at the beginning of the season. I'm sticking with it. I think it's going to be, listen, I'm not going to predict a blowout, but if I had like a blowout meter, a probabilistic scale of a blowout, I would say it's greater than 50% that this is a blowout in favor of Nebraska. Because in
blowout, what's blowout to you?
20 points or more, and a non-competitive fourth quarter are the two factors. How many kids play? If 100 kids play in this game, it was a blowout. So, and the possibility of that happening is never zero, but I think is way higher than normal in this game. I don't know why. I just can't put my finger on why, but I do think it'll be.
Well, I know why. It's the passing. It's our
Yeah,
passing offense against their passing defense.
yeah,
And if we can give Dylan Raiola time, the kid's accurate. So, I
yeah.
mean,
It's like Michigan State has good run defense because nobody runs on them because they're just passing the ball down the field the whole time. If your pass defense is 113th or 116th, that means that people are passing on you all day and they don't run the ball a lot. So your run defense is generally higher because they're running. I mean, they're passing. They're not running. So you don't give up a lot of yards because they're not running a lot. Same thing with Nebraska. Nebraska is like 30 yards a game ahead of everybody else in terms of pass defense. It's under 100 yards a game, but their run defense is 113th because Michigan said, well, screw that passing stuff. We're just going to run the ball. Everybody run. And it was the Michigan game that did it to them because they gave up, 300 and something yards. It was crazy how many yards they gave up. I don't know exactly, but I don't think Michigan State presents that kind of a threat. And ESPN had ranked them before the USC game as the worst undefeated team that was left in college football. And they lived up to that billing. So I think it'll be competitive, but I also think that because we're not, I'm wearing a black shirt, I'm rooting for the black shirts, but I'm still a little up in the air about the black shirts. It's the defensive line not only had poor run lane containment last game, they don't get after the passer all that great either. Now, that's something that can develop over the course of the season, and we'll see what happens. But so I'm saying that it's 37-21 with the possibility of a blowout. So I think it's both the over.
37-21. I said 35-21. So we were.
Yeah, I know. I sent my prediction over to Caleb, and then you sent yours like the next day. I'm like, I didn't talk to you.
I did not see. I did not see.
We're getting a hive mind here. It's like we're getting.
I promise I did not see yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and whatever flavor that takes, if it's 35-0 and then they score 21 points, that would be a little tension inducing. But who cares? It's I just don't see this game being that close. I'd be surprised if it was close. The return of the play action pass will flummox Michigan State. I just don't see it being close.
Well, I kind of agree with you. Let's take a look at the rest of the Big Ten and see what else is going on here, Bob.
Okay.
Let's get me back into the right area of sport.
I did not watch any college football last weekend. You know why? It's taking the weekend off.
All right. I didn't really either. Minnesota at Ohio State, they're going to get killed. And Washington, Maryland, that could be very
ESPN has this as an 86% Nebraska win probability. That's crazy.
Yeah. How about Washington having to fly all the way to Maryland? Talk about
this is just ridiculous.
It,
as you and I both know, it's way easier to fly to the west than it is to the east. Right? And these West Coast teams, they're great at home, and then they have to travel, 2,000 to 3,000 miles and study apparently, and then they get there, have a nice day. See you later. Here's some swag for you. Thanks for coming. So, I feel bad for the West Coast teams, and I think this whole West Coast experiment needs to end. That said, it is what it is. Okay. So, Northwestern's playing Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a weird kind of middle of the Big Ten season.
Yeah.
UCLA is going to get crushed at Penn State after Penn State lost to Oregon.
Oh, that's tough. How far the mighty have fallen. with UCLA. That's really kind of a sad tale. I think at the beginning of the season, I had predicted that we were going to lose to UCLA.
Who's the interim coach after they fired the
I
first?
don't even know. I think the defensive coordinator. I don't even know. I don't pay that much attention to it. If it's not Nebraska based, I don't pay that much attention to it. And then when we play them, I'll pay attention to it. So Washington, Maryland should be a good game. Surprisingly, Washington is favored in that game. And so Maryland's getting some serious disrespect. And then we got Washington, Michigan, which will be another blowout. Michigan's favored by 17.5. The over-under's
Maryland is
only. Yeah. Yeah, they're at home. And Washington's flying all the way out there, and they're 6.5-point favorites. I'm like, what the hell?
And then we have Maryland next week. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, you never know what a team's really like until about halfway through the season. And we're not halfway through the season. So everything that we talk about is just guesswork, And so Nebraska and Michigan State are both 3-1. A win puts everybody a little bit closer to a bowl game. And, but the fact that we're thinking about bowl games rather than thinking about winning the championship is kind of a sad reflection on where we are. But it is what it is. So I am looking forward to a good October. October getting off to a very good start with a trouncing of Michigan State. Yeah, I'm saying 37-21 because I'm too afraid to say, 52-15.
Can you believe October 1st? Oh my God. Where's the time?
I know.
Crazy.
And it's 85 degrees here in Minnesota. Global warming, people. We're going crazy out here.
Yeah, it was like 85 today. Are you around this weekend?
I am.
I have a tea time on Sunday.
That's what our fans want to know is what's our personal schedule like this weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later. So, all right. So how?
87, Sunday 81.
How could Nebraska lose this game?
Wow. They can. They will. That's that's an absolute. I mean, yeah, they come in, they fumble the ball 5 times, but they've been really good on ball security this year. Our special teams are good. We got the really top passing offense. They have terrible passing defense. I mean, the only way is, if our run defense just completely folded again, but I gotta believe that John Butler's been, talking to anybody and everybody that understands run defense and is making some changes. And probably, loosening up the corners and the safeties to help out, So
here's my big question for the game.
Yep.
Will we see the emergence of Elijah Pritchett at this game?
Oh, I saw some stuff on him, and he apparently is just not. There's a reason why you transfer from Alabama to Nebraska, and apparently he's just not hitting the mark.
Yeah,
he doesn't mean he can't.
He did play against Michigan. He came in and immediately had a false start. So, but he's such a big dude. He is just a silo with feet. He's Jay Stockwell in a football uniform. It's like, we'll see what happens, but we'll I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I think we need to play him a little bit more. Giving up 7 sacks last week means somebody's going to lose a job. And
apparently there's new news at running back, so they're going to unveil the number 2 running back, and they're apparently going to give him some playing time. Who do you think?
It's not going to be. I would guess it'd be Quentin Hives. They've tried Mosey, and it's like he's still a little young. Listen. If it were me, I'd give Emmett Johnson the ball until his legs fell off. When you look at
a little undersized though.
You know what? He's a tough kid. He's a good runner, shifty. But I was looking up some stats the other day, and Raiola is, I think, up. He's doing pretty well, climbing the charts, just past Tommy Frazier on the all-time passing yardages. But then you look at rushing yardages, and Mike Rozier is so far ahead of everybody else. It's not even funny.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is like a mile ahead of everybody else, and he has an excellent hat game.
Yeah,
I
you
met
would
him.
thoroughly talk to him, right?
Oh, yeah. He's got an excellent hat game. That man has good style. But boy, you think about those Nebraska teams, and it was a different era, different game. But Mike Rozier, man, it's like give him the rock. And I still wonder why people are so committed to balance when moving the rock works. I think they could have run for more yards against Michigan if they just stuck with the game. But is what it is. If Emmett Johnson doesn't get 25 carries in this game, I think it would be a bit of a disappointment. But then again, that would limit the chances of a blowout, which is why I'm predicting 37-21.
So it looks good. Good weather in Lincoln should be a great afternoon for football, right? I mean,
I am. It should be a good festive crowd, not quite as festive as if they had won the Michigan game, but still pretty festive. I mean, it's always a great time at Memorial Stadium on game day, especially when the team is doing well or expected to do well. We had a fantastic time when we were there. But at the same time, I really hope they just come out and step on their necks and just go. Test the secondary early and often and run the ball when you have to. But this is a game where Raiola, if he doesn't throw for 300 yards, listen to me. I'm like, Raiola should throw for 300 yards and Emmett Johnson should get the ball 25 times. Both of those things would be difficult to accomplish. But of the two, the more likely one is Raiola throwing for almost 400 yards. I see him throwing for about 370 and 5 touchdowns. And they'll miss an extra point, but they'll kick a field goal. 37, there you go. So that's my prediction. I think Raiola's going off this game. Going off this game.
Well, I am excited about it. What are we doing for the game? You coming over?
Yeah, I think it's your house. I think it's your house this time. What time's the game?
3:00. The Commander 2:30. The Commander will
Wangs.
We'll get the wings going. We'll get the we'll
just like a brunch. It's brunch time.
Yeah, we'll get to Stockwell. We'll get some.
Sober September is over.
Yeah,
it's now time for Out of Control October. So,
good news is we get rid of boring Bob. We don't want Bob to take care of himself. We want Bob to have a little fun.
Yeah, I would wake up in the morning and not have to wonder about what I said the day before because I knew exactly what I said the day before.
I never reminded you about what you said.
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what.
And I'll be like, no, I didn't. And now I know exactly what I said because I remember all of it. And my sleep scores have been great. So, we'll learn to take it easier. But yeah.
Well, you must have gone to your California barber. Your mutton chops are looking extended and sharp.
Yeah, got to sharpen them up. I went to Cali, got a good haircut. So here's what I got in California. I got to sit in my hot tub every day, which was awesome. I got Mexican food made by Mexicans who are scared and running over the border at a furious clip. And the Mexican food was awesome. It's awesome. I got copious amounts of vitamin D, thank you to the sunshine. Although the weather was lovely here in Minnesota. And I got traffic jams. I had to wait almost 30 minutes to get into the dump. And then I drove to San Diego and sat in another 30 minutes of traffic because there's a lot of cars. Getting into the dump and having an almost 30-minute wait is a maddening experience. Now, I'm very zen. But at the same time, it's like, what? Really? You couldn't figure out a way to get everybody through the gate? And I eventually got through the gate, was thankful. And I got a big thank you because that was on my honey-do list to go to the dump. And I don't like going to the dump. So, because I was a garbage man growing up. I'm like, I don't like going to the dump. I liked going to the dump when I was a kid. I don't like going to the dump now. I've earned my way out of having to go to the dump.
So we did the you probably saw we did the sort of tubs thing, the big dumpster outside
yeah.
We did 3 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we emptied a lot. The mechanical room downstairs, you can actually walk in it and you can actually get to the important pieces of equipment down there.
Wow.
Yeah. We've emptied multiple closets, and the garage is like spick and span again, so it was a 3-week effort, and but really it's something you got to do almost every year.
You're a little bit like a football coach making cut downs in the spring. All right, you in the dumpster, get out of here. Just tell the stuff. Hey, Jay wants to see you bring your playbook and your friend's playbook too, because you're going in the dumpster.
Exactly.
Although maybe the books are like, yeah, man, I get to hang out with my friends for eternity in the dump. So maybe, who knows?
Did you see that our friends in the Philippines had a earthquake?
Big old earthquake. It's crazy, man. Like, Mother Nature doesn't mess around. You'll get, everybody thinks that it'll never happen to them, and then it does. And everybody's surprised. Like, we had a hailstorm here last week before we took off for California. It's like there's like drummers on my ceiling pounding away. It's like, this was ridiculous. And it happens. It's like, you can wish that it doesn't happen, but it happens. Just like in Nebraska, you get all sorts of terrible weather in Nebraska. And you just got to understand that it happens sometimes, and it's not because you did anything right or wrong. It's because that's the way nature works. Tall mountains mean earthquakes. Trees mean fire. It's pretty simple. And, people want to blame it on a lot of different things. It's like, it's just nature. It's just nature's way. It's how it is.
Wow. Check out the email, Bob, from Lawrence Alonso.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he did. He wasn't involved, but he gets typhoons instead. That's another thing. Typhoons are crazy. It's like a hurricane with water. So, well, it is a hurricane, a typhoon. A cyclone is a cyclones and typhoons, I think, are the same. I don't know. They're all just big hurricanes. One's from the Pacific and one's from the Atlantic. So, yeah, nature does its thing, man. All you can do is hope to survive.
All right. Well, that's
and nature's gonna do its thing at Memorial Stadium this weekend, and the Cornhuskers are gonna whoop them Spartans. The Spartans have these are the Spartans that have been kicked out of Sparta. So no Spartan. They're
well, we have another Spartan friend, right?
Yeah. I don't know who.
Coach Tim Miles of the San Jose State Spartans.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
But their motto is Spartans run to the fight. Not these Spartans. These Spartans.
Yeah, these Spartans are gonna. You know what? They're gonna run to the beating. So Spartans run to the beating, but just listen how cocky we are now. For the last 3 years we've been doing this podcast, it's like, I hope we don't get run over by Kutztown State. And now we're like, man, this is gonna be a blowout. Dude, I don't even see this being close.
My former Navy buddy, Doug Wojcik, he's also friends of Mike Nazaro, high school buddy. Anyway, he was teaching, or he was the assistant head coach at Navy when I was teaching there, and we played noon-hour basketball, and he was the point guard for the Navy basketball team when David Robinson was the center, and he's the assistant head coach for Michigan State under Tom Izzo now.
Oh, basketball. We've lost the football. Focus. Focus.
I'm going to send him a little wager for the game. So
I need to get you some new glasses so you can focus better.
Yeah. No, Mike, these aren't new glasses. They're brand new glasses.
Your focus is off. So. Yeah.
All right. How about I take us out, or do you want to?
All right, you take it out. Okay. We remember you got to back up a little bit so you keep the.
Yeah. Here we go. Got to back it up.
Go Big Red!
There we go. I think we would do South Stadium proud.
I think that we would embarrass the kids if they saw this, because they're all drunk and stuff, and we can do it sober. So we're not embarrassed because we're too old to be embarrassed. It's like, if you're embarrassed, I'm old. The actuarial curve is catching up with me, so don't worry about my embarrassment.
I can't wait to see you on October 4th in a good month. So there we go. Yeah.
Rocktober, baby. Oh, the Rock! Let's go!